I like that music. It's catchy. It's peppy. I like it. We are back once again. This is episode 309. Is that correct, Wayne? I believe.
309 sounds right.
Nice. Although this does say episode 8, because we are here with Mr. Patrick Scullin today. Hi, Patrick Scullin. How are you?
Hey, good to see you. It's been so long.
I know.
We're
I never
using the
see
metric
you.
system.
Yeah. It's been so long. I don't see you because you live out in the opposite coast of me.
Yeah, that's right. Over in the West.
In the California. How are things out there? I haven't been out there this year, or it seems like 5 years.
Yeah, you wouldn't recognize it. It's pretty dismal.
Is it? It must be the same as here. And Wayne tells me the same stories about up north as well.
At least I don't have snow.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, what you said that you moved down from the mountains, correct? You're not in the mountains anymore?
That's right.
You used to get snow, right?
I used to get snow, but then I became a flatlander and moved to the desert like everybody else.
Nice. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Very cool. So we're going to be drawing stuff. We're going to be talking tonight about some stuff. We figured we'd catch up on Thor Ragnarok and some Downton Abbey. And
awesome combination.
And then they kind of go together. And we were going to draw. You said that you were going to draw some Mary Crowley. Is that what was going to happen? Yeah,
just starting a little bit here.
Yeah, and I was gonna draw some Thor, so from the Ragnaroks. And we're gonna.
I think this would make an awesome what if comic. You know, what if Thor met Mary Crowley?
Oh, what would happen?
Lightning would strike. I don't know.
In the hearts of Mary, in the hearts of the what's the family name? It just popped out of my head now. The
Crowleys.
The Crowleys. That's right. Oh, I just said Mary Crowley. Yeah. Oh, geez, Louise. I'm so bad at this. So I'm going to draw Thor, and I'm drawing on watercolor paper with. I'm going to do something different tonight. So you're just straight up pencils. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm starting with my traditional blue pencil, and then I'll go with darker pencils.
Nice. What are you actually going to draw? Are you going to actually draw Mary Crowley?
Yeah, I was.
I thought you were kidding around. You're actually going to do that. Wow.
I don't know. I'm in a 1920s
half our
mood.
numbers just dropped off. Our viewers just dropped off right there. He's actually going to draw it. Never mind. I'm out.
Well, you're surprised I showed up.
I told Wayne. I said, "Listen, we're gonna talk about Thor Ragnarok," and he's like, "Great." And I said, "We're also going to talk about Downton Abbey." He goes, "Not going to watch it."
It's a commitment, sir. You gotta commit. You know, I started it kind of on a dare and then couldn't give it up. I had to finish it.
Sure.
Yeah, It wasn't my idea.
That's what everybody says, but it was actually my wife's idea too. And then I'm like, this is dumb. I don't want to watch this. And then I got sucked in as well. I started watching it, and I'm like, when's the next one on? Let's watch it. And then we were watching it on PBS of all things, right?
Yeah.
And then like we had to go and buy one of the seasons or something like that. Oh no, we started watching it because we started watching back episodes, and then we caught up to what was going on PBS, and then they didn't have the next one out or something like that, or we had to buy the rest of the season and then watch it as it came out on PBS or something. I don't know, something crazy. And then we paid money to go see the movie as well.
Yeah. Well, we got into it over the quarantine, and couldn't stop. Just binged it.
Oh, really? So you just recently?
Yeah, just this past year. Got through the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
I'd always heard about it, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to watch that. But like you said, by the end, I was like, when's the next one?
Right. You do get really caught up in these things, but oh man, I don't know.
I like to say I don't watch soap operas, but yeah, this
one.
Oh,
it's so a soap opera. So thing, but Maggie Smith,
amazing.
Yeah, she's very amazing. But I wanted to call her by her Harry Potter name.
Oh, McGonagall, or
yeah, I wanted to call her McGonagall. I love her in Downton Abbey. It's awesome.
She's in the background pulling all the strings.
But she's got some great like one-liners happening there
Totally.
in that very Victorian style of hers. She's got those zingers happening. I love it. So what else have you been up to? What have you been doing? What have you been working on? Anything nice? Nothing?
Well, I've been drawing and writing and trying to come up with new stories and stuff. Been teaching, doing a little bit of that. So it's like I'm all over the place right now.
Yeah, it sounds like my life.
I've actually been in person teaching too, so that's been fun.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun, hasn't it?
Well, trying to wrangle everybody, get everybody on the same page, online, in person, it's all the same. I mean, it's all as difficult.
But we don't talk about that here because we're here to have fun. And
That's
talk
right.
About other stuff. So what is it that really sucked you in with Downton Abbey? Because let's go there since you brought it up.
Well, I want to say it was not what I expected, and the character development was awesome. Just felt like the characters were really interesting. Lately, I just want to watch something where I don't know where it's going, and it was unpredictable.
Right. And we should say this is if you've tuned into 8 of these already at this point, right, Wayne? It should go without saying that spoilers are going to happen like from word 1, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, how long has it been anyways? It's been out for years, right? So if you're...
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't too keen on this one, but we were doing WandaVision the day of that they came out. And next week is,
just 1 week.
Winter Soldier and Falcon Winter Soldier. So we're going to spoil right away on those. But yeah, I think the statute of limitations has run out on Downton Abbey. But all right, so favorite character then? Who's got you there?
Well, Matthew Crowley was my favorite character.
Oh yeah, and how upset were you when he drove that car?
Dude, I cried. I felt like a family member died.
You're such a loser. Oh man, you're such a wussy. And shut up, because I cried too. Like, big time. I did. I was like bawling. We had to turn off the episode. I'm like, no. I wanted some sort of superhero thing to happen where he came back, and it didn't, and I was so upset.
No, see, that's the thing, right? I'm conditioned to that. Oh yeah, it's all gonna come back together. The snap's gonna be reversed. But no, in British TV, what's done is done.
Yeah. In the British Marvel universe, like if Captain Britain was a miniseries or a PBS series, yeah, dead is dead, I think.
I think that's probably what kind of sucks me into this kind of storytelling because it's permanent. So you're like, who's next? What's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
So is it like an Agatha Christie type movie or series?
No, it's about this family, and they have this. Hold on, my camera's going to get a little shaky here for a second. All right, yeah. They have this abbey or a piece of land, and they take the land and they rent it out to farmers and stuff like that, but it supplies like the whole town, the whole county with kind of work and I don't know. Help me explain.
Well, it's kind of like the end of the aristocracy of Britain. So it's the 1920s, and the lords and ladies are disappearing in the countryside, and they're having to deal with modern society. And then what I liked is it was like historical too, because like they did World War I, they did
World War II. No, they didn't get to World War II.
I don't think they got there. I don't think they got
to World War II. They did. There was a whole episode about them getting a phone.
Yeah.
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 So that, but it was interesting because, like, you know, the man of the house, Mr. Crowley, you know, Lord Crowley, he didn't want the phone.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I guess that was the other thing that I thought was kind of cool was they had the upstairs and the downstairs. So they had the soap opera of what's going on upstairs, and then they had the servant quarters and what was going on there, and their drama was even more engrossing than the upstairs people.
It was, and then they had very ahead of their time. They had a gay character, and what it was like to go through all of their trials and tribulations during that time period, which was really, really interesting. And the movie kind of delved into that a little bit more.
Mr. Barrow.
And then how he really didn't want to. I think he's the one who really hated being in the war and sacrificed a part of his body or something like that, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, he got himself shot or shot himself to get out of it.
Well, wasn't he? He was in a foxhole and he put his hand up and he got his hand shot or something like that.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
They were being pinned down, right?
Yeah. He put his hand up to get shot so he could get sent home. He's one of those characters he's interesting because he's so kind of...
You hate him, but love to watch him.
Yeah. So he could get sent home. He's one of those characters...
Oh.
That's future me or past me.
So what I want to know, Wayne, is has any of this changed your mind, and are you going to watch the show now? That's what I want.
So it's sort of like a modern version of Upstairs, Downstairs with early 20th century technology.
Well,
yeah, is that a British show too?
That was from back in the day, right?
I don't know that one.
Oh yeah, that would have been way back. This would have been like same time that I, Claudius was on PBS.
I, Claudius. I remember I, Claudius. That's right.
Now I can talk about I, Claudius because I did watch I, Claudius.
Man, well, I don't think we're going to delve that far back. And I didn't watch any of it.
Did now Wayne from Canada, right? Did you have Red Green up there? That was a PBS show I used to watch.
Yeah, it was filmed, I believe, out of Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
Well, see, now you lost me there. I have no idea what we're talking about now.
That show had about as much. Yeah, that show had about as much production value as yours does, Franco. I think.
What are you talking about? I work real hard on this one.
Ooh, that's a slight.
No, I don't mean it that way.
Wow. Wow. And I know Red Green. Oh. Come on, this isn't the Beaver Lodge.
I'm sorry, Franco. I think I'm killing your audience with all my random references here.
It just dropped. I'm looking at the numbers. They're going down fast. But I did notice we picked up another Canadian once we mentioned Red Green, so that's okay.
There you go. I want to know what the scintillating questions or conversations out there is about Downton Abbey.
Okay. I have to sort of screen them through as I scroll down. D. Brad says Downton Ragnarok.
That could happen.
Oh, here's a good. Yeah, Jim McLean. Same thing happened to me with General Hospital. My wife records it every day, and then I started asking her questions.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jim. Here's a question for you. Yeah. How long?
Art knows something about this. He says, "Spoil away. I'm never going to watch it."
Oh, there you
go. John Morocco Jr. says, "Yeah, people die, bro."
Yeah, big time died. But what I want to know from Jim is, is he pre Luke and Laura or after Luke and Laura on General Hospital? Because that'll tell me something. Let's see what Patrick's drawing as we get to more questions there. Oh, look at that, Mary Crowley. There she is. She's got that stiff upper lip. Yeah, Look at her
wearing her fancy hat.
Mm-hmm.
I hear they do that over there. They wear fancy hats.
Yeah, especially when the Queen comes. I tried to do my best Chris Helmsworth. My best Chris Helmsworth lookalike here. We'll see.
That Ragnaroks.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
I noticed he's got both eyes.
Well, yeah, this is during the battle scene with the. But I don't know if it's the battle scene because I gave him a Mcgovern to hold.
I have never understood how to pronounce that.
It's pronounced Mew Mew.
Mew Mew?
Mew Mew?
Mew Mew. That's what Darcy says in Thor. Kat Denning, she calls it Mew Mew. Easy to remember. Not that hard to pronounce. Mew Mew.
Yeah. I was going to say that's the name of my first cat, Mew Mew.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Jim has explained himself. Post Luke and Laura, I was a Young and Restless fan back in college. I just started with General Hospital in the plague year.
Oh yeah. Oh, The Young and the Restless, I believe. Now I could be getting this wrong, and I'm really, really bad and sorry if I do. But my college roommate was on The Young and the Restless for a number of years. He was on a couple of episodes of Beverly Hills 90210 as well.
Luke Perry?
No, his name was Carl Evans. You can look him up. He's got the IMDb.
Yep.
The IMDb's, and he was in a couple of episodes of Beverly Hills 90210, and he was in a when I moved into the dorm, he was across, and then our roommates kind of like left or whatever, and we're like, "Hey, want a room together?" Like, sure. And then we moved into a room together, and then we're watching TV one day, and a Milky Way commercial comes on, and I'm like, "Dude, that's you." And he goes, "Yeah, I know." Like, what are you doing in a Milky Way commercial? He goes, "Oh, I did a Milky Way commercial." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know you did that sort of stuff." He goes, "Yeah." And then the end of that semester, he moved out because he got a job on, I believe it was The Young and the Restless. Could have been something else, and I'll be embarrassed if it was something else because I can't remember.
Wow.
But
there's a bunch of Carl Evans. I'm just getting them down.
yeah, Carl T. Evans. Just look for the really good.
Oh, Carl T. There we go.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
I did reach out to him quite recently, actually, because I found him on the Facebooks.
The Guiding Light.
Guiding Light, that's what it was. See, now I'm embarrassed because I got that wrong. He was on Guiding Light. My gosh.
He was on Matlock.
Mm-hmm.
Matlock. Whoa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk Matlock.
That's another show. That's another episode.
Jonathan Caston in Beverly Hills 90210.
Yep. See? Told you.
Oh, he was also on As the World Turns for 2 episodes.
That's quite possible, yes.
So is he still out there in the biz?
His last credit is Kicking the Dog in 2009.
Yeah, he I think he's into producing now and stuff like that. So I caught up with him through email and stuff like that. Not too long ago, about a year or so ago, actually before pandemic, and we were gonna make plans to get together, like if he happened to be in the city or I was in the city or something like that, or if I was out in California, and then whatever. But I think something happened to dissuade all of that. It was called the pandemic, so we never did anything like that.
Just a little something.
Mm-hmm.
Little something got in the way.
Well, Andrew Clark would like to know, how does Downton Abbey stack up against Karate Kid 3?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So much better.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know. Now, have you guys watched Cobra Kai?
Yeah. You missed the other show. We talked about that. We talked about Cobra Kai.
Sorry.
Yeah. You're late to the game on this one.
I loved it. question is, who would win in a fight, Matthew Crowley or Daniel Larusso?
Well, I think that's unfair because Matthew Crowley had a gun.
That's right.
And he would go shooting and hunting. Come on. And he was in the war, too.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have taken anything from Larusso. All right, this is going to be oh, right one. Okay. Sorry, I'm just inking up a marker. So
I was talking to Franco before. Do you find, Patrick, that this is a compliment to the original series?
The movie.
The Downton Abbey movie, or you're saying Ragnarok?
No. We're not into Ragnarok just yet.
Gotcha.
But the Downton Abbey movie, because sometimes when you take like I was trying to compare it to like X-Files, where they had the middle the first movie, which was sort of like in between. I think it was seasons 4 and 5 of X-Files, where it was trying to advance a story about the alien abduction. How does the Downton Abbey movie, does it sort of really advance a story, or is it sort of just there to make money?
No, to me, it really did a good job of like picking up the characters and putting everybody in, picking up where they left off. I thought it was really good, especially thinking about the fact that you have to compress it down to 2 hours when you're used to having, I don't know how many episodes, 10 episodes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really liked where they took the characters. I thought it was a really good follow-up.
I liked where they were taking them. It was a little predictable to me because I could see where things were coming. Whereas in the series, I couldn't, I couldn't guess what was going to be happening next, like you said before. In the movie, I kind of did. Like, that stranger that was talking to Tom.
Oh, yeah.
That was given away to me. And then, it was a little heavy-handed when things were disappearing around the Abbey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, one of my other favorite characters I always liked was Branson.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked what they did with his character. He was kind of like a hero in the movie.
Yeah. I liked Tom from the beginning, and that's one of the characters that went through a really big, long arc from like a bad guy, well, perceived bad guy,
yeah,
to a good guy, and then part of the family, and then when they killed his wife early on. Oh, spoilers! When they killed his wife early on.
Ooh, that was another gut punch.
Yeah,
that was a tough one.
That was a real tough one because the family didn't like him, and all this other stuff, and it was awful.
Well, that was one of those things where, like, his character in the beginning to me wasn't that. I didn't think he was that important, but then now you think about it, he's like one of the survivors. He's like, he took on a whole new persona.
Yeah, and
so
that was
like
a
you
big
said,
surprise to me. Yeah,
yeah, he had the biggest arc, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's truth.
So is it a movie that you can sort of jump in and watch without having any history of the characters?
Yes, and what I'm hearing from you as well is that you're possibly thinking about watching it. That's what I'm hearing.
Just asking.
You could try that old watch in reverse method, watch the movie first, then go back.
Sort of like a Benjamin Button's approach to it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I watched Smallville. I watched the final episode before I watched the rest.
And then you went through the lean years, and then it got better, and then
yeah.
Man.
All right.
I'm never watching that.
Well, you never know. I might.
You might. See, that's what. Yeah,
we're
here to change. We're here to change minds.
You're here to change my mind.
I mean, who doesn't need more British culture and history in their life, right?
Well, I watch a lot of Doctor Who.
Oh, there you go.
We're gonna have to do a long Doctor Who episode one of these days.
Oh God, no.
Talking about that, no?
Oh, that's like 50 years plus.
Yeah. Fine, we'll do 2 episodes.
All right.
Who's your favorite Doctor?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'd have to say Tom Baker.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm old school.
Vintage Doctor.
Yeah. And then because basically you have the 2 eras. So up to Sylvester McCoy, I would still say Tom Baker. And then after, David Tennant.
Yeah, I like David Tennant a lot.
I think I liked how David really approached the character. And he wasn't just sort of this, like Matt Smith was cool as sort of this goofy kid that was the Doctor, but David sort of embraced the horrors of sort of like being like the only survivor of his own race, and all the sort of like all the tragedy, like what Wanda went through with his own version of PTSD.
Wasn't there an episode, because I'm still on the Tennant years. I have to, I don't know if I'll ever catch up, but I mean to. But didn't they do a Matt Smith, David Tennant, like crossover?
It was the 50th anniversary episode.
Oh, they did, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Time of the Doctor, where they introduced the War Doctor, sort of like the bridge between the 2 series. So you had the original series, you had the American UK TV movie, then you had the wasteland of time in between, and then before you got into Christopher Eccleston when they rebooted it.
Doctor's another show, man. That's another that like involves so much, and I want to watch it. And there's some great episodes too. But all right, I'm gonna work on this background now. Why don't we, since we've lost so many people, talking about Downton Abbey, we should probably
get into the Ragnarok.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, before we get into that,
yeah,
we have a question about for you, Franco, from D. Brad. What is your opening and closing theme music from?
Downton Abbey.
It is
no wonder I didn't recognize it.
The roots run deep in that whole Downton Abbey era. It's you're gonna think this is a cop out. It's definitely not a cop out. I can't remember. I'm horrible at remembering where it was a free. I searched a whole bunch of things online, and I found some royalty-free music. And if you look at the very first opening credit with the Oh Yeah logo on it, there's a little indicia thing at the bottom. So if you go back and you rewind it, you can actually read it, and it tells you where it's from.
Well, everyone that's watching right now, we do not recommend for you to leave the show just yet. Maybe you want to look at it afterwards.
Yeah. You could do that anytime. Yeah. So I'm using these Neo colors, and I haven't used them in a while, so I wanted to kind of experiment with them. So I'm using these things, so we'll see how it works out. This could be a big, terrible mistake, but let's go for it. Let's see.
So are you adding water to it to get it to, or is it just kind of scribbling?
Yeah, no, just adding, I'm dipping it in water.
Oh, okay.
And then scribbling out. And you can scribble it out like this, and then add the water. But, yeah, I wanted to see. And I'm on watercolor paper, so it has a little bit of texture.
Nice.
So I wanted to see what kind of effects I can get with it. And I like the colors. They're very bold. And I wanted to do kind of like a pop art piece. So I wanted to see. These came to mind when I was thinking about it. Because I was telling Wayne that since we're going to talk about D-Brad, we're going to talk about, I have D-Brad on the brain because he asked a question. Since we're going to talk about Downton Abbey, it kind of sounds like D-Brad. Since we were talking about Downton Abbey, I was going to do a picture of Captain Britain, but I'm like, he didn't really appear in the show, so I said we're going to talk about Thor Ragnarok. So let's do a Thor Ragnarok piece.
I keep hearing rumors that Henry Cavill is being considered for Captain Britain. Did you hear that one?
I did hear. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's the build for it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Isn't everybody? But Marvel is really good about taking characters or actors that were a character somewhere else and then having them come back as another character, like Captain America and Torch.
Yeah,
type thing, and nobody remembers Torch anymore. But I think isn't it just two Superman, right? He's too Superman looking, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's ingrained. I don't know. That seems to be ingrained. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that paper just bubble up. None of that works for me. Yeah. None of that works for me. I'm going to wind up throwing this piece out. I know it. But that's okay. That's what we're here. We're here to have fun. What was it about Thor Ragnarok that you like so much?
Oh, me, man.
Because I said, what do you want to talk about? And you're like, oh, Thor Ragnarok.
Well, you know what? I just went back and rewatched it, and I've been on kind of an Avengers kick. After I started watching WandaVision, I wanted to go back to like Age of Ultron, and then I thought after Age of Ultron, I'm like, I got to watch Ragnarok. And then I just had such a good time watching Ragnarok. I love how they pretty much flipped everything on its head and made it into a comedy, and the writing was so funny, and the characters, I loved just everything about it. Everything was like so fresh but familiar. It like mixed all these different comic book influences. Like the whole World War or the Planet Hulk mixed in with
Contest of Champions.
Yeah,
I was explaining Contest of Champions to my wife because Jeff Goldblum mentions Contest of Champions. I'm like, oh, I remember Contest of Champions. She goes, wait, was that a movie? I'm like, no, it was in the comics, and the Grand Master would pluck these people out and put them on this planet and make them fight each other. And she thought I was talking about a movie or something. She goes, I didn't see that movie.
No, that was that show in the 70s where they got Battle of the Network Stars. Was that it?
Pretty much, yeah. And it was that 70s show too, I think.
And just like I didn't know about Taika Waititi when I watched.
Waititi, yeah.
I didn't know about him the first time I saw Ragnarok, but now since then I've seen so many other his movies, and watching it now, it like you could hear his voice. It's so funny.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Go ahead, Wayne.
Like, yeah, if you watch what they do in the shadows,
yeah,
you can see that influence, the humor from what do you do in the shadows.
Well, I was going to ask you guys how much. Yeah, because they have specific writers that wrote Ragnarok, but how much influence do you think Taika had in doing any changes or anything?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because it really did seem like a lot of his influence, right?
Yeah.
Watching his other stuff.
Especially when he's Korg. Is it Korg? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if that was ad-libbed. I don't know.
Yeah. This is a place for generations of humans and aliens. As long as the foundation is there.
Yeah, the foundation is strong.
The foundation is strong. Oh, forget about it. The foundation's gone. You can't save that. Yeah.
Whole planet blows up. Yeah. Or like, he's like introducing him. Oh, there's Doug. He, he didn't survive.
When Thor asked him at the end, where are you from, Meek? Meek, was it? Or something?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Meek? He goes, oh, Meek's dead. I stepped on him back down the bridge. He's dead. I think, wow. Oh, he's alive.
He's alive, everybody.
Alive, guys. Yeah. Meek's alive, guys.
My favorite is when he's in Endgame and they're like playing Xbox or whatever, and he's like, "That kid's back again, Thor." Yeah, so funny. But I love the Hulk in Ragnarok too. That was so fun to see him, really just be funny and awesome.
And
like when they're
never forget. Oh, go ahead.
So when they're discussing their rage issues, and, Hulk is smoldering.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to forget. No one's ever going to forget Hulk Dong. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's something I'm never going to unsee. Yeah.
Thor either.
He's never going to forget it. He's never going to see that. I just remember. I think I knew that. I think we all knew Hulk was going to be in the movie. Was that spoiled? I can't remember, but just when he's like all worried about who he's going to face, and then he's like, "Oh, I know him." Not for my wife. It was a surprise for my wife because we just watched it earlier today while we were eating dinner, and she was like, "Oh, the Hulk is in this." I'm like, "We saw this in the theater," and that's when she told me that she fell asleep in the theater, so she doesn't remember the Hulk being in it. So she was very surprised that the Hulk is in it. And I'm like, "Why do I pay for a full movie ticket price if you're not going to stay awake for them?" So it was a surprise for my wife. There you go.
Now I was sad when so many cool Asgardians died, like Heimdall and others. No, that was in Endgame, huh?
Yeah. Well, they all died, but Bones died. At the end there.
But when Hela came to town, she like killed all of Thor's buddies.
Yeah. The Warriors 3.
Yeah. Zachary Levi had to go do Shazam, so he was killed instantly.
Yeah, he didn't even get to talk.
Yeah, that was a quick end to them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't need to be, damn it. And then Hela, we were talking a little bit about her before we came on, and how like how did Wayne put it? You said she's a starlet, right? Like she's classic, very classic Hollywood look, or
old Hollywood, like the starlet look from the 40s and the 50s.
Right.
Like she has that like Helen Mirren's the same for me too. Just that classic look of a Hollywood starlet.
Well, and it's hard to believe she's Galadriel too, right? I mean, she's such range.
And she looks good in any wig, any like, blonde, brunette, redhead. She's just like spectacular looking. I think she's very, very classic beauty in a sense.
And you have to love it, the fact that they embraced the Hela costume with the big horns.
The one thing I do love that, but the one thing I didn't understand is why is she going back and forth all the time between like regular hairstyle and like is it a pain for her to put her hair up like that in that headpiece, or what's the reasoning there?
I would say it's similar to the Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone, where he had to take the helmet off when he shouldn't have taken the helmet off. I think it just comes down to that. They just wanted to see her face more often.
She looked great in the headpiece and the costume, though. You can see her face. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I loved that design. I'm so glad they did it. Because you can tell how sometimes that stuff doesn't translate from 2D to real life, but that costume did.
It'd be interesting to see the other Asgardians that Kirby developed and designed the costumes, whether or not they would keep them. Because Enchantress would be interesting to see if they keep that look. If they ever do her.
Speaking of Kirby, wasn't it cool to see all the set design that
Right.
used all his bold shapes and colors and all his tech design. I just loved seeing that too.
Mm-hmm.
Now I read somewhere that the Eternals movie with the lady, I forget her name, who just directed No Man Land, and that's out in theaters and on Hulu. She's directing the Eternals, and I heard some sort of rumor or something out there that Marvel is thrilled with the way it came out, like beyond expectations of what they thought was going to be to what came out. So that actually, I'm really excited for that. I want to see what they got going on there.
So that one's done. That they didn't have to stop production or whatever on that one.
Or I think they were in production or continued recently or something. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but from what I hear, scuttlebutt is that they what they got out of this director story wise and everything, that they were just thrilled with what they got, and they think that it's super spectacular.
Yeah, the director's Chloe Zhao.
Yes.
I gotta admit, I always get the Eternals confused with
New Gods.
New Gods. I do.
You mean
I wonder why
the two things that Kirby created?
Yeah. No, it's really exciting to see where they're headed next. I don't know. All the stuff they did with the past 10 years or whatever is pretty tough act to follow, but they seem to know how to do it. And that's why I think it's kind of a bold choice. Like with Thor, they kind of flipped the whole thing, went a totally new direction. I like how Marvel does that, how they change the tone and they try new things.
Well, you think of it, what they did was they gave Thor to an unknown director, really, and gave him a big budget to work on Thor Ragnarok, the same that they did with Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn.
Yeah, well, Taika had made a name for himself, albeit it wasn't in Hollywood, but he did make a name for himself, with the other projects that he did, So I could see why, like, this is pretty cool. We want it to kind of be a comedy, and he could do some special effects stuff. So, I don't know. I think they're smart with how they do it.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's a risk every time they do it, but it's a educated risk, I guess, or what do you call it? A
calculated risk, right?
Calculated risk, yeah. I also loved Loki in Ragnarok. Just how they played with his character, like when Thor comes back to town and he's pretending to be Odin, and the whole the play. And was that Matt Damon in there?
Matt Damon. Sam Neill was Odin, right?
Oh,
and who played?
Yeah, I'm pulling that up.
Thor? I don't know if it was anybody big time that played Thor or not.
So I was wondering, is that casting because of Taika, like Sam Neill, because he was in The Wilder People, or was that?
Well, I don't know. I think it was just casting on Marvel's part, which was funny,
And I noticed the right hand woman of the Grandmaster, Jeff Goldblum, was also in The Wilder People.
Oh, well, there you go.
She was the cop. Chased Ricky Baker.
I haven't seen The Wilder People.
You haven't?
No, I have not.
You have to watch that. It is so funny.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Tell me what
so
it's about,
funny.
but don't spoil it, even though we do lots of spoilers on here.
It's As far as I know, it's just an original movie by Taika, and it's about a kid that gets adopted and moves in with this crazy family in the mountains. It's really funny.
Oh wow!
He's like
I've seen this other stuff. I've seen the Jojo Rabbit, and I've seen What We Do in the Shadows, which I love, and I love the series as well.
Yeah. It's just really, really funny and interesting, and it's this city kid learning to live in the mountains with this crazy couple. It's funny.
Well, the actor Thor is another Hemsworth.
Oh,
it's Luke Hemsworth.
Oh, is that who it is? Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. That's so funny.
Are there three brothers?
I think there's three brothers. Yeah,
and then there's Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, 3 Hemsworths. There's some family genes right there. Wow,
there's 3 of them altogether. Yeah.
Andrew Clark said, a Make-A-Wish kid visiting the set of Thor Ragnarok came up with he's a friend from work.
That's awesome.
But again, during that fight scene, the funniest thing was when Hulk picks up Thor and just whacks him on the ground over and over again, and then you see Loki go.
Look, that's what it feels like.
That's how it feels like.
That's what it feels like. Yes.
That was hilarious.
He's not wrong, you know. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this, but we're going to keep going. It's a little weird, gotta admit. It's weird. They're not quite watercolors and they're not quite pastels. Like this in-between weird thing.
So they're not quite what you want.
Well, not quite. Like I remember using them a while ago, and I've had them for a while, and I'm like, you know what? I never use these things. Let me kind of play around with them and see what happens. They do give texture with this watercolor paper, so. But yeah. Well, what are we on now? Are we on Thor? Do we change?
I decided to start drawing Thor.
So now, is he going to be Mary Crowley? Because
yeah, this is the alternate universe Thor. He comes down. Well, he's kind of like Wonder Woman in World War I. He comes down, saves Mary.
Now that would be an English drama, wouldn't it? I mean, if we were able to combine, Thor and Wonder Woman in early World War I.
Yeah.
Right? And add some British flair to that. I think we'd be
Who would live?
Right?
There was a fun Stan Lee cameo in Ragnarok, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, he gave him a real bad haircut. Like when he shows up in the arena, he's got like buzz cuts like in the side of his head and in the back of his head.
Yeah.
It's
and for
awful.
all you toy collectors out there, Sideshow through Hot Toys, there's a 1/6 scale figure of Stan as that character.
Really?
From Thor Ragnarok, yes.
Really?
Didn't they do all of his characters from different ones, or?
For the characters, only 2 so far.
Did they do the astronaut one? Because I think I
They
saw
did the
that
astronaut one. That was the first one major one from the movies, and the other one was from Thor Ragnarok.
Wow. I'm not going to do the bus driver or anything else. They should, I think. All right. You know, the one thing I don't like about these, I think is the same reason I don't like watercolors is the paper. I can't get beyond the paper warping when I'm working.
Yeah.
What?
And then it puddles in a strange way.
Uh-huh. I think that's it. I think that's why. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of watercolors. I've always disliked them for that reason. But I do play with them if they're like in a marker, just to get like accents or bold colors. But everything else is just not. It doesn't work for me, really. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Last time I used watercolors was pretty much in art school.
Yeah. There's some people that just do amazing things with them. Like you look at Jill Thompson. I watch her draw sometimes, and I hate her because of just how good she is with them. Like, you know, and she makes it look so effortless. Like, you know, layer upon layer. And I'm like, how do you like it looks so simple.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch her do it, and then you do it, and you're like, what the hell? What did I get myself into here? Type thing, you know. And there was this video I used to show, and I can't find it. But there was this woman who used to do landscape paintings, you know, like and she would paint outdoors. She would take a kit and she would paint outdoors, and she was hysterical. I would show them to my classes. This was years and years ago, and it was on VHS tape, which is why probably why I can't find it anywhere, because I wanted to transfer it over digitally, and I haven't been able to find it. But she takes a 6-pack of beer and she goes out in her canoe, and she's painting, and then she'll take the whole paper and she'll dip it in the stream. Like, she's painting, and you're like, it looks like a mess on the paper. I don't know what she's doing. You know, obviously this lady is drunk, but then she takes the watercolor paper, which is like about this big, you know, it's huge, and she'll dip it in the creek. You know, watercolors are running in the creek, and then she'll pull it out, and it's like this masterpiece of like woods, and you're like, what? How did that happen? That's not a thing that's even possible.
I think that was a bait and switch. Someone underneath had another painting. She put it underneath the water, and then they switched it and came up with the other one. That's a bait and switch.
I don't know about that. No. I'm just very upset. I'm very upset about the whole thing.
Well, watercolor's so unforgiving. It's like, it's permanent, you know? You can't erase it, can't paint over it. You got to plan every step.
Right. I hate it.
If you want to see a picture of Stan, here it is.
Let's see.
Oh, there it is.
Hold on. I'm going to get a close up here. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's funny.
Nice.
No, I don't like it.
Have you ever seen the artist that was before Bob Ross? You ever seen that guy?
No. Tell me.
So he's this German guy who like speaks with a really thick accent, and everything is like angry. And he's like the
Is that why they got Bob Ross? They're like, we're getting too many complaints about the angry guy.
Yeah,
you must put the tree here now.
Yes, it's really funny. I can't think of his name, but he had the show for a few seasons, I think, and then later Bob Ross took over for him. But it's really funny to watch because he's like, so you do this and this. It's really funny.
You know, in college, I went to like, you know, kind of film school thing, and one of the films we did just for fun was I made fun of Bob Ross. So I did a Bob Ross video. I can't find it though. I think it's just been lost to the ages. But I did it as a version of Bob Ross going through something as he's painting. So, you know, he's painting because I was the only one, you know, that could do art type stuff. So I was painting, and we have this lovely background here, and we'll put some trees here because that's where the tree wants to live, and we'll put a lovely barn here, and all the barn animals are in the barn, and then the farmer owes back rent on the barn, and he's thinking about maybe burning it down, but then one day a flying saucer appears. So then I paint the flying saucer, and I paint the guy next to the barn, and then the barn's on fire, and then it's this whole thing. It escalates to this whole thing, which I thought was funny, which is why I did it. But yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if that's appropriate for nowadays or not, but that's what we did.
Then his family left him, and he quit.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, does Bill Alexander sound familiar?
I thought he had a German name, but maybe.
No, it says he first learned the magic of oil painting, a show that was hosted by Bill Alexander, a German painter who used the alla prima painting style or first attempt, the wet on wet style, blah, blah, blah.
That must be him.
Wow.
It's funny to watch sometimes.
I never knew that there was a German version prior to that. That's funny.
Speaking of Bob Ross, did you know he was in the army? He was like a drill sergeant, right? Yeah. Such a strange history.
And I think that's why he didn't want to be angry anymore. So that's why he did the toning down of the thing. And he raised raccoons or rescued raccoons or something.
Really?
To that, yeah. There's a Funko Pop figure with him and a raccoon.
Oh, really?
Because he used to rehabilitate or rescue these raccoons and stuff. I don't know if that's true or if I'm getting the facts wrong, but I think it is.
So it made me think, overcoming anger, what kind of a painting instructor would the Hulk be?
Well, he would be
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
Would he though, or would he embrace the classic Renaissance style? Or he would paint a lot of rubble or ruins, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, big monsters, something. Things that were smashed. That would be his.
I don't know if this is a thing I'm liking here. This seems to be a recurring theme with me on every show.
You do something and you don't like it?
Yeah. Oh, look, I smudged that one too. Look at that. Yeah. Every show I do something I don't like.
So when you were watching the opening sequence with Thor Ragnarok, then you started to hear the Zeppelin soundtrack to it.
Yeah.
Then you knew right off the bat you were going to be in for something different.
Yeah. And then when it comes back, when he gets his power, and that is like so epic.
You could say it's almost similar to like the James Bond theme.
Mm-hmm.
Where when Bond gets his comeuppance on somebody, it's the da-na, da-na, and then you have the Immigrant Song by Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Well, when I heard it, I immediately thought, wow, somebody shelled out a lot of money for this. That's what I thought. Because they had the money. And what do they say about power? If you have it, doesn't mean you have to use it all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, great responsibility, something like that.
No, that's Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah. We're talking about the investment of music in a movie because you have to pay for those rights.
I guess Marvel could afford it.
Good for them.
So what do you think Love and Thunder is going to be like?
Now, it's interesting that you bring that up because didn't I see a picture of Natalie Portman recently and she looked all like Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Right? I thought
so. Natalie's jacked up.
Yeah.
I saw the picture. Honestly, I think you could look it up. It's pretty public out there recently, but I saw the picture and I thought it was fake. It looked like it was superimposed on Chris Hemsworth's body or something like that.
Yeah, her arms were pretty thick.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was her or not. And Chris Hemsworth is going to be in this one, yes? I assume?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in it.
And I liked it. I liked that it's a mutual breakup. It was a mutual ditch breakup.
Yeah.
Said that a number of times. We both ditch each other, or whatever word he used. When that girl wants to take a picture with him on the streets of New York.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about you and Jane. Oh, it's a mutual thing. When he talks to Loki.
Now, in the timeline, was that before or after the first Doctor Strange movie?
I think it was after.
After, so it was. Yeah. He'd already been introduced by then.
He'd been introduced, yeah.
Because that was a fun little cameo too.
And then the umbrella going through the house and just destroying everything.
Yes.
You hear all the sound effects. That was awesome.
Yeah, in many ways, that movie really teed up everything that happened later with Thor. Just how he kind of became, I think he was pretty one-dimensional in the first few movies, and then by this time he had, he was funny, he was a little sad, he was a little, dad bod, everything. Just the whole arc was interesting.
Yeah, they really put their characters to the paces, which I'm liking. But now it's interesting to see now because now isn't Chris Evans, Captain America's not coming back, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
He doesn't want to. So it's interesting what they're going to do, and I'm wondering if Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be setting up what's going to be happening with Captain America, because that's my guess, is that they're going to be doing something with that.
I'd always kind of heard a rumor that they'd go back and fill in his years with the Infinity Stones, like what he did, taking him back or something like that. Like they could do, would that be flash forward, flash back, flash something?
Really? I don't know why they would do that, but
just because
Falcon and Winter Soldier, you think?
Or when he had to go return all the stones before he got back with Peggy,
mm-hmm.
They could follow him in his adventures with her, maybe incognito, or maybe flesh out what he did to return the stones. I don't know.
I don't know.
How do you feel about the B team though, coming in to fill everybody's shoes? You're gonna miss Robert Downey Jr.? You're gonna miss Chris Evans?
I think so, but I think it's also fun to see what they're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Well, take Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought that a raccoon in a tree would become beloved characters?
Right.
Oh, that reminds me of my favorite line in Ragnarok was, "We're going to be the Revengers."
The Revengers.
He's like, who came up with that? That's so brilliant. The Revengers. And then my next favorite line like that in Endgame when he's like, we're going to be the Asgardians of the galaxy.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Him and Chris Pratt are like, I'm in charge. No, yeah, you're in charge. And he's just like, I love that.
I like that all of that basically happens because Chris Pratt can't let go of Gamora. That's all his fault, basically. All of that could have all been avoided.
Just couldn't let go of the girlfriend.
Man. I get it though. I understand.
Yeah.
Is it pretty quiet out there, Wayne? Did we lose everybody on the Downton Abbey stuff? I think.
Not really.
Oh, good.
Just going through. Okay. Scoot McMahon is watching us and eating Pacos.
Oh yeah, Tony Pacos. Yeah.
Oh, Skokie has basically an observation, not really a Thor Ragnarok one. Are you guys excited for the Frasier reboot?
No. Not at all.
Frasier reboots. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, it's coming in on the Peacocks.
Man, they're just rebooting everything, aren't they?
Yeah. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to.
Everything old is new again.
I'm trying to remember. There was another reboot I just saw, and I was like, no way. Oh, it's not going to come to me right now. Dang it.
Oh, it will. It'll come to you.
It'll come back.
Yeah, at about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
in your sleep. You'll be like, that's what I should have said.
Oh, it's so stupid. It was Punky Brewster. I was like, what?
The Peacocks too. Yeah, that's right.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh.
You see, I would tune into a couple episodes just to see what she looks like nowadays, type thing. I think,
Yeah.
And I want to know if they brought the old guy back.
in zombie form?
Yeah. Because then I'd watch it or something,
It's not a great picture, but are you talking about this one for Natalie?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be fake, right?
It looks fake to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's her and she did the work and she really is that buff, like, wow, great, that's awesome. Because then she'll really look like that, the one from the comic and everything. But the angle, the way she's got her arm pitched forward, just I don't know, seems fake to me. I could be wrong.
Could it be a suit? Could it be a suit?
Nah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, because I remember in Endgame they showed the bodysuit that Chris Hemsworth had to wear for his dad bod.
Well, that's true.
And he had it was like a full torso, had arms and everything, make him look flabby.
D. Brad says the Thor Ragnarok director's commentary is fun. His 3-year-old daughter comes into the room and comments with him.
Oh boy.
Really? I gotta go watch that.
I know.
Oh, here's a question. Andrew Clark, if you can infuse sci-fi into a show, what would you do?
Like what show would I do?
Any show, I guess. Downton Abbey.
Yeah. I would say X-Files Downton Abbey style would be cool.
Oh, really?
Kind of like, yeah, what would it be to have X-Files in that era? That
I mean,
kinda,
like Warehouse 13.
Maybe. I don't know that one.
Okay.
Is that what that was like?
Well, yeah. The Warehouse 13 dealt with collecting artifacts into this warehouse that's similar to the TARDIS.
Okay. And I guess it's kind of like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, too, a little bit.
Or any show.
Any show.
Any show. Painting with Rob Ross.
Yeah, I think we need to see the Hulk version of that and see how that turns out.
Yeah, I would think so too. I think I would want to see the Hulk paint.
Hulk paint.
Hulk paint happy trees.
I'd like to see
Hulk tree not happy, Hulk rip out. Yeah.
I'd like to see Hulk deal with an art critic.
Oh man.
Well, it's funny too, when Thor was going, "Hey, big guy, sun's going down."
Sun's going down. And he kept repeating it. Sun's going down. Sun's going down.
They pounded him.
Sun's going down. Shh, quiet. Sun's going down. Funny. Why do you keep saying that? I'm freaking out a little over here.
Or how to activate the Quinjet? Strongest Avenger.
Strongest Avenger.
Yeah.
Point Break.
Point Break. Yeah. Damn,
That's what it was.
Point Break.
Well, and then he became the dude in Endgame.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff was improvised by Downey, right?
I bet it. I think I heard that too.
I know in Avengers the shawarma thing was him. That was on a take that they used.
I remember on that one in particular, maybe it was a commentary I watched or something where it was like a pickup shot or something, and for some reason Chris Evans had a beard. So in that scene,
he was in another movie, so he had to cover his face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Justice League style when they had to get rid of.
But they picked that up because that was just it was an improvised line by Robert Downey Jr. Because when you think he's dead in that scene and then he comes back, they did a number of different things and the one they wound up using was like, you ever try shawarma? That's what they wound up using. I don't know here. I think maybe it's too colorful, too many colors.
See what they do with the Lady Thor, having Jane as Thor.
Yeah, I haven't read those comics. Were they good? I haven't
read them.
I read the first couple. I liked them a lot because you're trying to figure out, if it was Jane Foster or not, and
So spoiler alert, it
was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, because I heard Jason Aaron's run on Thor was really good.
Yeah. Absolutely good. It's good. Fellas, I don't know if you've figured this out, but I don't know what I'm doing on this thing. But we're working it. We're seeing.
See it through, man. Draw some happy lightning bolts.
Trying. Just see here.
You can't go wrong with Kirby Crackle.
No. You can if I'm doing it though. Sure. You just gotta know. You gotta know your limitations, and I know that mine are happening. And especially, note to self when you're doing things on a live show. You should know how to do them rather than just experiment like on the show. When you ask Patrick Scullin to come on and then try this wax crayons. So.
I was going to say, you're a brave man.
But what you're really doing, Franco, is you're catching up with the wax crayons. So it fits into the show's motif.
It's true, because I used them many many moons ago. Yeah, this is it's horrible. But we're going to continue. We're going to see where it goes. We're going to see where it leads us.
Nice. So, Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster.
Excellent casting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
It's more or less he just played himself.
Yeah, I think that's what they wanted, though, right? Isn't that what you hire Jeff Goldblum to do? At this point, I don't think you hire him for anything else, really.
Yeah, I mean, so funny and weird. Loved that whole thing. Now, did he have like an end credits?
Yes, he was the second end credit.
That's what it was.
Oh, I forgot to watch the end credits because I'd seen it already.
Yeah, because the first end credit dealt with leading into Infinity War, where Thanos' ship comes upon the Asgardians.
Oh, that's right.
And then the second one dealt with the Grandmaster going, "Hey, hey, we needed a rebellion, and you know what? You needed me for the rebellion, so everything worked out. So let's call it 50-50."
That's right.
Do you think he'll turn up again somewhere?
Well, isn't that the beauty of everything that they're doing with Marvel? Is like it can just happen.
If they still keep doing more cosmic stuff, sure.
Yeah, well, actually, with what's the new Doctor Strange, something of madness?
The multiverse of mess.
I guess anything's possible,
Multiverse
right?
Madness.
Well, do you think that somehow is going to tie into the Spider-Man stuff that they're doing? Because what comes out first?
I just saw the title of that is like No Way Home or something like that. The new Spider-Man.
Well, I don't know what the title is because didn't they tease a whole bunch of stuff and then I got very confused as to what was what.
Wait. Phase 4, because we're into Phase 4 now, and it's broken up.
Whoever thought we'd be in the Phase 4?
Yeah, it's it's Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder.
Which one comes out first, the Spider-Man or
No. First one comes out is Black Widow's. This is the order: Black Widow, then Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
So I forgot about that one.
Yeah. We should be getting the Mandarin, the real Mandarin this time.
Oh.
The Eternals is next. Then Spider-Man No Way Home. So if everything goes well in 2021, those 4 movies will be coming out.
Wow.
This year?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, there's something to look forward to.
Now, here's a question. Are we going to be seeing them in movie theaters or are we going to be able to see them on Disney Access, Premier Access? Because I don't mind paying for the Premier Access.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, close-up times. Let's see what we're doing here while we're talking.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. Look at him. He's in fighting stance, that guy.
Still a little rough.
All right. Here's the release dates.
All right, tell me.
For Black Widow, May 7th.
Oh,
for Shang-Chi, July 9th. The Eternals, November 5th. And Spider-Man, December 17th.
Ooh.
Isn't it so funny that we're hearing so much about Spider-Man, but not so much about Shang-Chi or the Eternals? Because that's like both of those are unknown commodities, like Guardians of the Galaxy first was.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to be, but I think that's changed now with the Marvel moniker. If it's Marvel, it's going to be something.
Yeah, they definitely have that quality behind the name now.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Doctor Strange because it's being directed by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, that's
really?
right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. When did that happen?
A while ago.
I missed that one.
Yeah, it's filming as we speak. So, okay, for 2022, that's when we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther 2, and Captain Marvel 2.
Okay.
Be interested to see what they're going to do with Black Panther without Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
Rumor was that maybe Shuri or something, which would be kind of cool actually.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping for, that the sister would take up the mantle. Yeah.
But she was the Black Panther at one point, wasn't she, in the series?
Yeah, I think so, right?
I believe so.
I got a question, but it's from across the street.
Oh,
You gonna
damn.
watch the Snyder Cut?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. We're talking about that next week, and I think Scoot's going to be on with us because we're going to talk
Is it going to be out by then?
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday, the Snyder Cut releases, and then Friday's Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Nice.
We were talking a little bit before you came on. We're not sure if they were going to show all four, but I think Research Clue Master Wayne over there said that they're going to be releasing the whole thing with an intermission type thing, sort of like what they did back in the old days with Lawrence of Arabia and stuff like that.
So is it going to be like 10 hours or something?
I think it's like a 4-hour version, right?
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's 4 hours. Zack Snyder. $242 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
So 4 hours and 2 minutes.
I'm never getting my life back.
So maybe a half hour of credits.
You think?
I think.
I like when they showed pieces, and this is the old cut, and then this is the Snyder cut, and they showed Steppenwolf with just a lot more blades on his head, with a lot more pointy things. I'm like, is that what they did? They took all 4 hours to put more pointy things on him.
And those pointy things, according to Wikipedia, said it cost $70 million to complete the visual effects score and editing with the new material.
Yeah, that makes sense right there.
I gotta say, I don't like the design of Darkseid. I'm not crazy about it.
I don't like the design of Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
I don't like the design of the whole movie with Snyder at the helm. Oh, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Sorry.
Yeah.
Preview for next time.
But what I'm going to do for next week is I'm going to watch Superman versus Batman, the extended cut, then Justice League, and then I'll be ready for Thursday for the Snyder cut.
You are really a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Do you hate yourself? What's happening?
It's the Canadian hate yourself, man. We just don't like it. We just don't like the situation, but we have to endure. We're just gonna do what the Churchill said. We will fight.
We will watch, and we will watch
only the extended cuts, so that we get the full effect.
Wow.
Well, how about this? This is more of a Marvel-related question. Then, why do the Marvel movies work so much better, at least in my opinion, than the DC movies? Why did Avengers turn out so much better than Justice League?
Because they really do pay attention to story. And at first they had that advisory board where they had the writers on, and now that they've proven themselves, they don't seem to really need that anymore. But the formula. You know what I did here? Let me put it this way: that before they start every movie, they watch the Richard Donner Superman, the '78 Superman.
Really?
Yeah.
Marvel does?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Before they start every movie, they watch the '78 Superman. So what does that tell you?
Also, you have a singular vision all the way through it with Kevin Feige.
Mm-hmm.
That helps.
Well, I think he's the one that makes everybody watch the Donner cut Superman.
No, but again, like if you think of it, the Marvel Studios, it's basically one studio with sort of like one person coming up with the ideas, where with Warner Brothers, it seems to be these pockets of different people that are totally distinct from any influences from the comics.
Right.
Like how much does Jeff Johns actually had on Suicide Squad, the first one?
And also, the DC seems to want to get away from the comics. Like they feel like they want to get away and change. Well, the people that are involved with it want to change the things that happen in the comics, and Marvel has just really embraced those and look what's happened, type thing.
Yeah. Because there's a way that, and just kind of going back to Ragnarok, it's like it's Marvel in the DNA. The story was totally new, was not in a comic, but all the building blocks are there, and you can see it. It feels familiar, and somehow the DC movies, to me, they just are depressing, and they don't do it.
Well, it's like they made all their movie with the Batman trilogy, and they said, you know what, this is the way we have to do it. Nolan has set the blueprint on how we can make money, being dark and depressing.
Right, but you know the thing with those movies is that it had, like you just said, it had a singular vision. It had Nolan, where these other ones don't. You know, you had Zack Snyder, but I don't know, his vision isn't what makes good story. Like, I don't know. I loved 300. I liked Watchmen, but I don't know. Moving on from, you know, and I unpopular opinion, I kind of liked Sucker Punch.
Oh, I love Sucker Punch. I thought it was cute.
But I don't know. He just with these movies, he just, I don't know, wanted to change everything. It didn't work for me.
Superman can't be dark.
Right.
It makes no sense for that character ever to be dark.
Well,
he's a beacon of life. He was supposed to represent hope.
Right.
Like real hope for like immigrants when it was created in 1938. It was about hope. We can understand Batman's the darkness, you know, your parents, you see them get killed in an alley, you go psycho. But with Superman, he was raised by these good people, was given solid values, and he's there to keep those values going. He's like, my nephew brought up that the Marvel equivalent to Superman would be Captain America for values.
Yeah.
That it's all about truth, justice, American way. It's about being true.
Never give up.
Never give up. And the Snyder movies lost that.
Yep.
Lost that whole idea of Superman. And that's why it just doesn't click. Why did the Donner movies click? Because you felt that was Superman.
Right.
George Reeves, when he played Superman in the 50s, you felt that was Superman because of the way he played him.
Yeah.
Because this is your understanding of what the character is. Once you start straying from that basic premise of the character, you'll lose the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking, watching Thor, how many parallels there are between Thor and Superman. Mm-hmm. Just, you know, a god on Earth kind of thing, and they always talk about Superman being hard to write stories for because he's invincible.
Right.
But they sure figured out how to make Thor have weaknesses. You know, it's like, I don't know. They could have tried a little harder, I think, with Superman.
Well, even growing up with Superman and reading Superman, you know, like when before Art and I did, you know, Superman Family Adventures and Superpowers and stuff like that, when we would talk about things that we wanted to do, I would always say that I never want to do Superman. And he'd be like, well, why not? You know, because Superman's obviously his favorite, but it was my favorite too. But, you know, why wouldn't you want to do that? I'm like, well, you'd never be able to write for Superman. How do you write for Superman? You know, this was my argument at the time. I know I could come up with stories, but I don't know that I'd ever be okay with the character. I can't really feel him. And Art just sat me down and he goes, well, Superman's about this. And he told me, you know, he's the heart. He's the soul of everybody, of what's good in everybody, and he put it in such a way that I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I can definitely write him now,
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
So,
He's like the best of us.
yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And even like the Justice League, where Batman says, or Bruce Wayne says,
Martha.
Superman is the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
He does say that?
I believe he does at one point. Getting into the whole Marvel and DC, Troy brings up, it feels like Marvel brings in people that respect the source material.
Mm-hmm.
Art goes on that Marvel takes their time telling the characters' stories.
Yes.
Troy brings up a perfect where Warner Brothers has done excellent work is in their animation with the characterization of Superman, because he was saying if I was DC Warner, Bruce Timm would be in charge of the movie universe. You look at what Bruce Timm did with Superman, with Justice League, the Superman series. That is Superman. And I'm
going to agree.
And it's amazing how DC animation understands the characters. But again, a lot of them were writers, if I'm not mistaken, of the books.
Mm-hmm. The DC animation stuff is really, really good. The animation leaves things to be desired with me. I like the stories. I recently just saw Reign of the Superman.
Okay.
And I thought it was a good adaptation of that whole, death of Superman and the Superman that come back and stuff like that. But the animation just isn't like what you saw in the Justice League or Batman or Superman cartoons. It just seems, I don't know, more
like lower quality.
It's quality,
more computer generated than that traditional stuff that they were doing back then. I don't know.
Yeah, because Bruce Timm was really just sort of like, if you want to think of it, it's a sequel to Fleischer cartoons. The approach that he was taking with the characters.
Well, if I was Warner Brothers, I'd put Art and Franco in charge of Superman.
Oh,
there you go.
Thanks. See, this is the only reason I invited you on the show right now. What else people saying out there? Now I want to know what their take is on all this stuff.
Art wants to remind us that the lovely Selma Hayek is in the internals.
Yes, that's right. It's true.
And that everything we said is true about the Donner Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think we exhausted the questions and comments.
Nice.
Yeah. Anything on Periscope?
What's that?
Because I don't think Periscope shows up here.
Oh.
I'm not too sure.
It doesn't show up on Facebooks and stuff here.
Okay.
It's possible. Maybe we have some on here on Periscope. Let's see.
I'm looking.
What makes a good hero to you, Franco?
It depends on who it is, I guess, because my philosophy is that all of them have different motivations for being the hero that they are. Like Daredevil is different than Spider-Man type thing. So I don't know. I think that's a loaded question in terms of. Oh, look! I just learned something new with these.
At the end,
like if I do this, like I could just pull that color down into it. Wow, look at that!
I like that.
I didn't realize I could do that. See, this is what the fun thing about these things is. Like experimenting with some of this stuff is just like I could just do something like that.
And what's even extra special, you get Franco DNA with your Thor.
Oh yeah, no, don't buy this piece because you'll have to put it in quarantine or just spray it with hand sanitizer, and then what'll happen is you'll ruin it because you'll be spraying it, and you'll ruin all the watercolor. It'll bleed everywhere. But that's fun.
Oh, Mario brought up a good point. Putting Bruce Timm in charge of the DCU is like having the guy in charge of Clone Wars running Star Wars.
Dave Filoni, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's doing a pretty damn good job, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Filoni?
Yeah, that's a really good point. It worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I some of those animated movies are real good, but some of the animation I have trouble getting past. But that's me. That's I think a nitpicky me thing.
Well, that's kind of always been my thing with comics too. That I always look at the art first, and if I can't get into the art, I can't get into the story.
Right.
Same with cartoons.
Yep.
I'm an artilletist.
You're a snob.
I'm a snob.
Yeah.
If the art changes midstream, I hate that.
Oh, you know what used to annoy me the most is when you see cover art and then you open up the book and it's not the same. Oh, that was annoying.
Bait and switch,
right?
Patrick, were you reading New Mutants when it was Bob Mccloud doing it just before Bill took over?
Yeah, like New Mutants #1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, now, if you're thinking about an artistic switch,
wow,
you go from Bob McCloud, and then go into Bill Sienkiewicz. It's just like, whoa.
I think I remember that as a kid going, what just happened? It's like a spit take. Like I think I had like a missing set of issues there, and I got the new one. And I was like, what? I think it was, what's the cyborg character's name? I can't remember.
Oh, Warlock.
Warlock. Yeah. That, I remember that one especially was like off the wall.
I like that though. See, but sometimes it works.
No, I mean, I like that style better than the original. I didn't know his name. Bob, is that his name?
Yeah, Bob McCloud.
Yeah. It's like Walter Simonson is like my favorite Thor X Factor artist. Everything he did, I loved. When I was a kid, I think I copied his drawings more than anything else. His whole run on Thor and X Factor.
Go back to Manhunter, Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
That he did.
Here's an interesting tidbit for you. If you go on the Oh Yeah Comics YouTube, no, not on YouTube. I think it might be on YouTube, but it's also on the Oh Yeah Comics Patreon page. We have an interview with Walter and Louise Simonson that we did. That's
nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
I guess I'm going to have to contribute to your page.
No, it's up there for free.
Awesome.
You can go up there for free, and if you want to contribute, that's great. We don't ask that, but we started it during the pandemic, and we're going to overhaul it soon, the Patreon, because we haven't done much with it. But we started it during the pandemic because we're like we don't know what's going to happen with the stores type thing. So one of the things that we were missing was signings. So we asked some people if they would come on and do some interviews, and because part of the fun of signing is like, yeah, you're not going to be able to get a book online, but you'll be able to have that banter and that see what they talk about type thing. So that was our idea there. So
excellent. I need to go watch that because I've never met them, and his art was such a big influence on me.
They're amazing people.
They're such a great couple.
They came and signed at Oh Yeah Comics in New York, and honestly, the signing was great. My favorite part was going to dinner afterwards. Just sitting there, listening to them tell stories. It was just fun stuff. Yeah. All right, now that the page is full, I'm feeling a little bit better about it, but I don't know. I don't think it's there yet. I think stuff has to.
Doesn't that always happen whenever you do a piece of art where you're like, I hate this. Oh, well, I kind of like it. It's getting better. It's getting better. And if you turn it around, then you're like, I love this. But at some point, there he is, a little more fleshed out.
You got to draw the him in shadow from the Hulk shadow.
Ooh,
over him.
yeah, like behind him.
Yeah, towering over him or something. Yeah,
excellent. Yes,
that's why I'm here.
Have you guys been reading Walter's Ragnarok series?
I have it.
No, I haven't.
I have it too. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I want to. I have it. I have them signed by him because I bought them when he was there. Because I was going to buy them eventually, but I'll wait. I'll wait till they come out, and then one thing leads to another, and I didn't buy them, and then he comes to the store, and I'm like, guess what I'm getting? And I have them, but I have not read them.
Yeah, the big oversized hardcover IDW did, and I'll sit down and read that probably in a week or two as I go through my books.
Oh, and speaking of books, I have to say thank you to Wayne, my buddy Wayne, because look what he sent me.
Ooh,
Captain Britain Volume 1 and 2. Look at these. These things are massive. I love them. Captain Britain's one of my favorite characters, and I have some of these sporadically, but Wayne was nice enough to send these down. So thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. And it didn't take as long as I thought.
No, you sent them out yesterday, and they got here today.
Tuesday, sir.
Yeah, same difference.
Wow.
Kind of.
In Canada, it was like yesterday.
He's sending them out tomorrow, and they'll be there yesterday.
Yeah, Tom O'Sullivan says signings at All Yeah were great. Nice to meet Louise and Walt.
Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, watching them. And then we had Carl Potts, who editor, artist, writer, editor with them. He was editor on Louise's Power Pack and other stuff. Came up to the signing because he lives not far from the store, and we invited him out to dinner. He goes, no, I don't want to come. I'm like, no, come to dinner. And I'm so glad he did because just all of them just sitting around telling stories about the old days of Marvel and things like that. I love that stuff.
Now, Carl, he also did Alien Legion, didn't he?
I believe so. Yes,
that's where I remember him from. And the Epic line of books. Wasn't he the editor?
I believe so. I don't know everything he was editor on, but yes, sounds like a thing. I don't know that any of this is working for me now. Again,
but you were smushing it with your finger, so and it was working then. Maybe you need some more smushing.
I think so, maybe, but we'll see.
I'm loving this idea you gave me to put the shadow in the background. I wish I'd thought of that before.
I get 10% of the commission.
And I could have planned the composition better, but
it's all right.
Yeah, 10%, man. 50%, 100%.
But it's still hilarious when he goes, it's my work buddy. It's my buddy from work. My friend.
And Loki's face just drops when he comes out. He's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
He's so pissed.
I'm looking forward to the Loki miniseries coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's another one, huh?
Mm-hmm. Now, going to the Marvel universes, there's Phase 4 is broken up between film and TV. So for TV, we have WandaVision, then The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Miss Marvel.
What If?
What If?
Yeah, What If?
That's the animated series.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm excited for that one. That's why. Sorry, that was just low-key excited from me.
Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They're doing that. I heard about that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the lead-in for Guardians 3.
So funny.
Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, and they say an Untitled Wakanda series.
So are those cartoons? Some of those?
I think
What
it's
If is?
just What If.
I'm so excited for What If. And there's somewhere online that did a comparison of movie stills and then the animated version of it.
Mhm.
You know, if you look up online, you can see them.
I think the only thing I remember for that one is, aren't they going to do like a Peggy Carter as
Captain America.
Captain America,
Captain
yeah.
Britain or Captain America or something?
And Jeffrey Wright is the Watcher.
Oh, wow. All right, this is where we're going to go in and ruin the whole thing right now. We're going to go back to our Sharpie marker.
Does that read for you?
Well, let's see.
I'm trying to figure out the perspective, but I don't know. Just kind of.
Yeah, it reads as him, though. He's there.
I'm imagining like it would be on the wall behind him somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The lighting isn't working, but
It's definitely his hat or his helmet that he's wearing in there.
yeah.
So that definitely reads as him, yeah.
Did you ever see the animated feature Planet Hulk?
No, that's another
No.
one I haven't seen.
But I loved the comic. That was like one of my favorites.
The animated feature wasn't bad. It got a lot of the major elements from the comic series.
Looking for a color to go throughout, and I'm thinking red. But I used red on his cape, and I'm not sure.
When you say throughout, you mean like
to separate some of these like, you know, in here and here. I don't know. Ooh.
If only you had a lake to dump it in.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I also need like a 6-pack of beer and stuff.
Or maybe
too.
that's for the audience.
The beer. I know it was crazy. All I know is that it was crazy, what she would do. I'm gonna go with the red first. Let's see. I don't know. Why not? It's already ruined. Go for it all the way. No one's ever going to buy this because I don't think I'm ever going to sell it.
Are you one of those art teachers that will like take somebody's work and like crumple it up, throw it on the ground, and tell them to not be so precious about their artwork?
No, I've never destroyed anybody's artwork, but I have threatened to tear erasers out of pencils, and I've done it on occasion. Because I'm trying to tell them, especially when we're doing contours, teaching them how to see.
Yeah.
And I tell them not to use erasers. And then I usually wind up ripping erasers out. Oh, see, now that pulls it together a little bit.
Yeah.
The red.
Yeah. Nice and bold.
Cuts in with the side here and the side here. Yeah. No, this will never see the light of day after this.
Do you think you could get away that when you were teaching, instead of ripping out the erasers, you could start handing them applications for McDonald's?
Oh, no. I do have a funny story about McDonald's, though, and me teaching. So this was about maybe 10 years ago. There was somebody had left a name tag, a McDonald's name tag, and it said Sylvia, and it said manager on it. And now, should I outline him all in red? No, I was about to go there.
I was gonna say on one side at least. Yeah, I feel like
I'm doing it. I'm going for it. So there was that somebody left a manager name tag for Sylvia, and I found it, and I'm like, oh, it's funny, and I would wear it. I put it on my apron, especially when we were painting and stuff like that, and people would be like, Sylvia. I'm like, yeah, that's my name. But they didn't know my first name. I thought your first name was Frank. I'm like, Sylvia's my middle name. I would tell them, and it was a joke that I would just wear it. And then about 4 or 5 years later, okay, now mind you, I've been wearing this name tag for about 4 years or so. This kid randomly comes in, not one of my kids, just a kid just comes in and says, is your Mr. A? And I'm like, yeah. Do you have a name tag for Sylvia? A McDonald's name tag? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, that's my manager at McDonald's, and I was telling her about it. Now, I don't know this kid from Adam, right? Never in one of my classes. I was telling my manager about it, and my manager's name is Sylvia, and she wants her name tag back. And I'm like, what? Like, this was left in my classroom 4 years ago. She goes, yeah, she thinks that, one of the kids took it or whatever. And I'm like, no, if she hasn't missed it in 4 years, no, she can't have it back now. So I didn't give it back to her. And I'm like, the nerve of this lady coming back after 4 years missing her name tag. She wanted it back. And I wouldn't give it back to her. Was that wrong? Was I wrong? Or
right? Finders keepers. After that long, she abandoned it.
Yeah, especially after 4 years, right? I thought, man.
Well, the real question is, why was she the manager for 4 years?
Well, the real question is, like, did people not think you were the manager for 4 years because you didn't have your name tag?
Yeah. Did she not get a new one?
That's what I was thinking. In all that time, you didn't get a new one? Come on.
I would if only I could find my name tag, I'd be the manager again.
Yeah, nobody takes her seriously. No, I'm the manager. Sure, Sylvia. Where's your name tag if you are?
Prove it.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Ooh. Hold on, I'm going to be squeaky for a second. We're going to fix it real quick. And fixed. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Did I lose everybody, or are we still there?
No, we're good.
Yeah.
Troy just brought up. Speaking of switching in artistic styles, when you're going from Sal Buscema, or I think it was John Buscema to Neil Adams on the Kree Skrull War.
Oh.
I don't remember that.
Because I remember Neil did it, but then I think it was John beforehand. But it would have still been Tom Palmer on inks.
I don't know. I don't see old stories like that. I don't remember. Like switches, especially if it was kind of close.
Who is one of your favorite artists growing up?
Oh, geez. There's a few of them. Now, see, do I pull the red through here because the lightning bolt is going through? Or just spotty? Maybe just spotty.
Yeah. I do like that outline, though. I think that is good.
Yeah, it pulls it together a little bit. So I'm sorry, favorite artist. Ramita on Spider-Man from way back. I just loved his Spider-Man. Just love his Spider-Man. Like those issues. Was he the artist when he met the Mind Worm and all those All those guys, or was it someone else? I can't remember.
Hmm.
My memory is fuzzy. But George Perez, geez Louise. Whenever you pick up his stuff, you're like, what am I looking at here? You know, it's just all that detail and stuff. Like you couldn't believe your eyes were, staring at all this detail. Like, how is he doing this? What is he doing here? And I can't tell you how many comics I ruined by tracing them and outlining them, and
I did the same thing with like Mike Zeck. He was like one of my favorites.
Yeah. He just had a good look. Again, my fuzzy brain. Did Mike Zeck do the covers to G.I. Joe? Was that him? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, those covers, and that's a bait and switch, because you pick up those covers and then you look at the inside. The inside was okay, but man.
Yeah, because he did like, I think, lots of Captain America, and
but he also did interiors with Captain America with Terry Beatty.
Mm-hmm. And then Secret War,
or John Beatty, sorry.
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars, yeah. Oh man, Secret Wars was just so good.
So Franco, your mind worm.
Yeah.
First appearance penciler was Ross Andrew.
There you go. See? So never mind. Screw John Romita. Screw that guy.
Yeah, Spider-Man 138.
He didn't know what he was doing, that guy. Ross Andrew. That's right. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is crazy. Just going overboard now.
It's like a Thor quilt. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. See, I was going to go back in and do some, and I started to, but I was going to go back in and do like cross-hatching, but I think that might be not a good idea. I've gone back and forth on this whole good idea, not good idea thing.
When you say hatching, like with your Sharpie?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think my camera just died.
Oh, that happens. We stay on and we just start talking about stuff, and nobody watches, and we just keep talking. So it's all right, though. Am I keeping you, sir? Do you have to go to?
No, Friday is a perfect night. It's raining outside too, which.
Wait, in California, does that happen?
Every once in a while.
That's crazy.
I don't think that ever happens.
What's that?
I just thought it pours.
Yeah. Every once in a while, it'll rain on you.
I don't think it does. I think you're lying. I don't think it rains in California. I think that's one of those jokes that you Californians are trying to pull on the rest of us. That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, so they postponed Comic-Con again, huh?
Yeah. Not surprised, though.
No. They did say something about a November date of some kind.
Well, isn't that usually when they do Comic Fest?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know. I don't usually do that one, so I don't pay attention. But I thought that's usually when they do Comic Fest. But I could be mistaken. All right. I think I'm going to keep playing with this a little bit more afterwards, but I think it's starting to come together a little bit.
I think that red really ties it up.
Tied it together a little bit.
Franco, here's your cover.
Oh, let's see. I'm going to highlight you.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. That's Ross Andrew?
That's Ross Andrew. Oh, it's a Gil Kane cover.
Oh, Gil Kane cover. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
For Ross Andrew on the interiors, right?
Ross Andrew on the interiors.
Yeah, see? Man.
What number is that?
138.
138.
Back
I
then
had
when
the
the covers meant something.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that that book, like I remember those Spider-Man stories. Like that Mindworm story had like an impact on me for some reason. Like, those were the issues where Spider-Man winds up going to Paris, and he meets that bad guy, the Cyclone, I think his name is, where he's in blue.
Okay.
But that Mindworm story, when he's first introduced, he kind of like uses his mental powers to take over this town and stuff like that. Spider-Man can sense it with his spider senses and all that, but then you find out he's just this guy, like this homeless guy, and he's wearing flip-flops, and he's living in this house across the street. And I don't know. I'm like, look at that, like it kind of had an impact on me. Yeah. But that's just me. I don't know.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
remember reading this.
Which one? The Mindworm one?
Yeah, the Mindworm one.
It's crazy.
I know.
They brought him back again afterwards, but he's not. I think I need to go. I think he gets a little lost with all this color. I think he needs to be thicker black lines. Might go with a thicker black Sharpie, I'm thinking, to offset the red a little bit too. I don't know. Here I go, ruining things again. It's all your fault, Patrick Scullin.
Art thinks, I think thicker black lines may help Franco Thor. May help the Franco Thor. Hashtag art critic.
See?
Thor looks good though.
See, this is what I'm saying about this show right here. This is like, I wanted the feeling like, especially during the pandemic, that we're at a convention, like we're sitting at the table behind San Diego, and we're just kind of talking about all the geek stuff. And did you go over to that table? They have this thing. Did you see that thing? And then we're drawing and stuff like that. And this is exactly what it is. See, Art's chiming in, said this is exactly what it would have said to me at a show.
Yeah. And if we were in San Diego, you'd say, "Hey, did you see in Hall H the trailer dropped for blank?"
So that's what we're talking about here. See, look, see the thicker lines. See it happening. The thicker lines. It's happening as we're
like
speaking.
Wendy Williams thickness?
Oh no, that's real thick, sir. That's real thick. I don't think Thor can stand that kind of thickness. But that's just me. But yeah, see, look, he's popping now. He's pop-a-locking. I don't know if all lines are going to be thicker, but man, things are just happening all over the place on this thing. Art, I came up with the idea, but it was probably up there, and I was just reading I was channeling your aura, your mind powers.
Well, Art's all about the beauty of the thickness.
Yeah. So I think I was just channeling. I think I felt his presence out there, calling to me and saying thicker lines.
Well, you guys been working together for so long, it'd just be like you're symbiotic. You're like Spider-Man in the black suit.
Yeah. Wait, who's Spider-Man and who's the black suit in that?
I don't know. You'll figure it out.
Okay.
I think we lost Patrick on the audio.
Oh, did we? Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm back. Sorry.
He muted himself.
It's you guys finish each other's sandwiches now.
We do. But yeah, the lines are popping now with the thickness. It's happening. See, now I'm changing my mind. I'm thinking maybe this one could sell now. Isn't it awful?
I told you that's the experience I have every time I do a drawing. It's like, oh, I like this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Oh, it's not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a genius.
I think I killed this marker too. Look at that. Yeah, it's happening now. It's happening. I can feel it. Truth. Truth in science. Beholding the science of the thing.
So was there any crossover between Downton Abbey and Thor Ragnarok with actors?
No.
There's got to be something.
Has to be something.
There has to be a crossover somehow.
Like a connection, you're thinking?
Somehow.
Like some sort of, 6th degree of Kevin Bacon, Goldblum.
If you find one, let me know, but I don't really see anything.
Wait. Start with Elizabeth McGovern.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because we never talked about her. She was the American English lady.
Oh. Was she in Ragnarok?
Yeah, she
Nope.
No.
Not yet, anyways. But she was in Kick-Ass. We're getting closer.
Was she in Kick-Ass?
Yeah, she was Mrs. Lazinski.
And both Pietros were in Kick-Ass.
Yeah, there we go. We're getting closer. And Wanda was in Avengers Infinity War. And Chris Helmsworth was in Avengers Infinity War. There we go. We're set. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a connection.
There is a connection.
What if we were going to assemble a team of Avengers out of Downton Abbey? Who's the leader of the team? Lord Grantham?
Yeah,
Thomas?
Who would play Jarvis the Butler, though? There's so many butlers.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I think I just ruined everything again. Oh, no.
No. Quit
Did you
while you're
color-
ahead.
Nah, not gonna.
Embrace the black line.
My motto is just keep making lines until everything's black, and then
Just
throw
get
it
out
away.
a big black brush and paint over the whole thing.
And then just throw the whole thing away.
So could you make an Avengers movie out of the cast from Downton Abbey?
No. Why even bother trying?
Because it would be awesome.
Would it, though?
I guess not.
I think we're just grasping at straws and telling everybody, we're done. We're out of material here tonight. All right, let me just finish up this, and then I can outline the hand later. But there's a thickness.
Yeah.
I'm going to show it up here so this way.
It's popping.
Full. Where is it?
Yeah.
It's looking there. It's looking. Yeah.
You can almost hear Zeppelin. Dun, da, 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 da,
Yeah.
dun, da, 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 da.
I'm going
This
to keep
is
going
where I
with the
finished
outlines.
off.
Let's take a look. We're going to take a look.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.
There you go.
So, and then back to Lady Crowley.
There you go. Yeah, man. She's going to go looking for Lord Grantham. And then here we go, a little bit closer on my Thor there. I think the thicker lines are working in my favor. I'm gonna thicken the lines out on everything here, and then pretty much be done. Maybe some lines in the hair, but done so.
I really like the likeness. I really see Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was unintentional. That never happens when I draw. Likenesses never happen when I draw. But go check out Patrick Scullin at patrickscullin.com. He's got a bunch of stuff up there, artwork and stuff like that. He's a buddy, and we see each other all the time at San Diego because he lives out that way. And thanks everybody for coming in and hanging with us. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. We'll do it again sometime. And we're going to talk about something other than Downton Abbey.
Okay. I'll look up some other British shows.
There you go. All right, guys. Ooh, what? You got an idea?
Yeah, we could watch Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. I am watching that with
I did watch it, yeah. With
Cumberpatch.
Spunner, big.
No, not the Cumberbatch one. The older one.
The Downey Jr. one?
Further back. This would have been.
Okay. Talking about the old black and white ones?
I've watched those recently.
Uh-huh.
No, oh, what's his name? Crap. Grenada. The Grenada series. It was basically adaptations of all the Conan Doyle novels.
Oh, wow.
From 1984.
There you go.
Jeremy Brett was Sherlock Holmes. It's really good.
All right. So join us next week when we're going to talk about Sherlock Holmes. No, I believe next week our guest is Scoot, and we're going to be talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, and we're going to be talking about the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Nice.
Wish us luck. If we're here next week, we'll see. we need more than 2 viewers to watch, so all right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.